Oh, hello, and welcome to Dente Rigamortis. I'm Review Cultist.
Nope, not doing it.
Come on.
Nope, nope.
And with me is Dr. Leviathan, and we're here to discuss those internet stories most creepy and most pasta. Tonight we've got Herobrine and Witness. Two very short creepypastas. Now, for those of you tuning in for the first time, creepypasta are essentially creepy stories copied and pasted over and over again on the internet, hence their namesake. So we'll just jump right into this. Headlong. So, Herobrine. We'll start off with Herobrine. A guy is playing Minecraft, and he notices when he's as he's building something, he notices out of the fog, because he's got low render view. He notices that there's this other player in his game, and he's not in multiplayer or anything like that. And it's essentially a default skin for the character, except for blank white eyes, and there's no name appearing on above its head. So the guy and initially the guy sees movement, so he goes and thinks it's a cow, and he actually encounters the entity, and it's this default skin.
This collection of pixels.
Yeah, exactly.
Stop trying to make it sound like more than it is.
Yeah. Later, when he tries to hunt it down, but eventually he loses it, and he can't find it again. And then later, when he's going through his world, he notices that there's weird man-made structures, like a pyramid of sand in the middle of the ocean. And there's whole forests of leafless trees. So this kind of weirds him out for some reason. And then he goes online and asks about it. At first, the first couple of posts that he starts doing get deleted almost instantly. He's later send a PM message, a private message.
He gets an email.
Yeah, he gets a private message by some guy named Herobrine saying stop. And then he gets an email from another user who says that it's not safe on the forums because the modders email safer. So they start swapping emails and talking about how other people have been noticing this mystery player that just pops into their single player world. Eventually, they start snooping around online to find out who this Herobrine character is, and they notice it's a name used by a Swedish player. And eventually, they find out that it might be Notch's brother. Now, Notch is the creator of Minecraft, so the writer of the story sends an email out to Notch, and eventually he replies back saying, "Yes, I did have a brother, but he's no longer with us." Dun dun dun. Yeah. So it turns out that Herobrine is a dead person. So apparently he never sees Herobrine again. But he was lucky enough, coincidence, to have a screenshot, which is the only evidence he has of this thing's existence. And that's the story. That is legit the story. So the reason why we decided to do two today, or at least I decided that we should do two this episode, was because...
You hate me.
Well, there's that, and one was going to be way too short. So the story is obviously false. Notch doesn't even have a brother, and...
Well, not anymore.
Yeah. Well, no, he's never had a brother. This isn't a very scary pasta. As... If you can't tell by Leviathan's attitude,
it's not even a creepypasta. It's just the collection of words.
Yeah, but it sparked just a crazy...
Yes, because creepypastas have an audience, and Minecraft has a huge audience.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a lot of crossover.
Yeah.
And then, just bad.
Yeah. The one thing I will say for this one is that it does feel like one of those campfire stories where, like, by the end of it, it turns out that the character in the story was hanging out with a dead person or a ghost. Like that old shtick. But really, that's all I can really say about this pasta. It's not very good.
Feels more like a hunt for Bigfoot.
Yeah. I mean, the only other thing... and so... Yeah, you have anything else you'd like to share?
Other than it's shite? No. I'm good.
Totally good for this one, then.
Yeah, it's... I don't... There's nothing about this that... I don't see why this exists.
Well, I can kind of see why. I mean, like, Minecraft is not a scary game at all. But there are some weird things.
I'm sorry, I have run the hell away from creepers. It's intense sometimes.
Okay, with the creepers, it's scary. But I mean, like, Minecraft itself, I mean, there are some weird things in it, like the creepers, like the Endermen, which are... I mean, they say it's not... Apparently the company has gone out and said that it's not a inspiration from Slender Man, but it kind of feels like it. Also, they're just like, you'll be mining, or like you'll be somewhere in the world, and you'll just hear weird random world groanings, or like noises that like just are ambiguously around you.
That you can't see. But...
Exactly, yeah. But Herobrine, I mean, it is kind of, the idea of it is kind of weird. Like, to be working on a single player game, and then suddenly a mystery player that you don't know, you can't like figure out his information or anything like that, just kind of pops up in your game and starts screwing around with your world. That's a little, not creepy, but it's a little weird.
I think it would be creepier and, a game that, just had, that was... I think it would have been creepier in, say, a Zelda game for the N64, where, your N64 isn't even plugged in online. Where is player 2,
Oh, that would be, yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that...
That would have been good bet
Wouldn't
for Ben.
that actually have a monochrome of terror?
Yeah.
Well, maybe not terror, but at least the creepiness. Because it's like, it's a totally single-player game.
Why is there a secondary player?
Why is there a secondary player? I don't even have a second controller in,
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be fun? Minecraft? Oh, whatever. Maybe you just don't know how to work your settings. Oh, he checked his settings. Well, what if he doesn't know how to work them?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no,
That's... Like, having a second dude running around Minecraft is, like, virtually always, a feasible prospect just because, yeah, it's an online thing.
Yeah, it's true.
Old N64, or you can go back to, like, Super Nintendo
yeah.
and a straight-up single-player game like Zelda, or,
Like, any of the Zelda games, really, yeah, I mean, you can't
any
really
of
do
the straight-up single-player games, like,
Yeah.
and having a second character running around, like, what hell is this?
Yeah, that would be a lot more scary. Or not scary, but creepy.
Yeah, like, I mean, the entire prospect isn't scary, but at least it would be creepy. Yeah.
There's a lot more potential for something weird and creepy to happen in that situation than to have with a multiplayer game.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll concede to that. I don't know, it's just like... I do feel like this, like, because the Minecraft fan base and because the Creepypasta fan base merged, essentially, that's why there's so much popularity. I mean, this thing's even a mascot at Minecraft cons, at the official, like, Minecon or whatever it's called. And Notch and like, other people at Mojang have come out and said, or, like, have actually, like, played, like, kind of played with the in-joke about it. Like, they've, like, said, no, it doesn't, no, he's never existed on the thing, but he's always watching us, and blah, blah, blah. Like they kind of, like, try to spin it on its head to try and, like, just fuck with people, like, fuck with players and stuff, who ask them constant emails and send them constant emails about it. But, yeah, otherwise, like, writing-wise, was it okay for that? No? You didn't even like the writing?
No, because it shouldn't have been written. The fact that there are any words in this is an affront to my sensibility.
Even though it's that short, like, just a quick read, barely, like, a 2-minute, 3-minute read.
and it was a complete and utter waste of time.
So are a lot of creepypastas. I don't know if you've noticed this.
Okay, so are a lot of things I do, depending on who you ask. But there is no purpose to this. I mean, at least with some of the other ones, I'm at least moderately entertained for a moment, or, I get, like, a cool idea out of it. This one, I get nothing. There is nothing that I walk away from this other than, well, I'm glad it's over. Don't know why it had to be started in the first place. Cultist.
Okay, I'll say this much for my stance. Yes, it's a bad pasta. Yes, it's not scary. I don't think it was a waste of my time.
It's not even creepy.
Because the event, like,
I'm willing to concede that based on the name, creepypastas don't have to be scary. They don't have to terrify me. But they should at least be creepy.
Or unnerving, yeah.
Well, synonyms, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, this is not even that.
Okay, so, yeah. I partially disagree with you about it being, like, a waste of your time,
That's fine, as long as you agree I'm right.
Like, I read this a couple of times. I was fine with reading it. It didn't bore me. I think it was an interesting story from a Minecraft point of view, like a player of Minecraft. But, I mean, anybody who doesn't play Minecraft isn't going to get the story, obviously. So, I don't know. From my end, I'd say I'd recommend it for somebody who plays Minecraft and likes little short, creepy stories.
I would
or just short little
recommend
things.
that they read something completely different.
Yeah, and that's
the right answer.
Sure. So, yeah, that's, I guess, both of our stances on Herobrine. So let's just jump right back.
We're both of the stance that it's pointless.
So, Witness is the next one. Essentially, it's a guy typing on a computer in a room, like a locked room, and he's saying he's going to be killed by something that's just across, like just down the hallway. And then he goes into this little story about his friend tells him a story about how his aunt tells him how his parents died, and apparently they were missionary workers, in some South American country, when a man came running into the church or whatever it was, or in the mission hospital, and claiming that this El Muerto Blanco had killed his sister, and he was next. And it kind of goes into a little bit about the creature. I'm not going to go into full detail about what the creature is, the description is and stuff. But essentially it's a little spirit girl with just straight up kills its victims. It's got like blackened eyes that ooze out this like pus or something. She has to, apparently one of the rules she has is that she has to knock 28 times on any door or mirror between you and it. It doesn't. It moves unhumanly fast, and not even like running. It just kind of like floats there, maybe, almost like it's being puppeted. And so the man says that his sister told him about the story, and then she was killed. And apparently, one of the things about this creature is that it can only kill you if you're aware of it, and if you tell somebody about it. So this guy then, like the priest, pushes him away and tells him, like, as soon as he hears about that El Muerto Blanco, gets rid of him, and the guy runs off, steals a car and runs off and is never heard from again. And then apparently, like that night or the next night or whatever, the parents are calling the aunt, who apparently was drunk at the time, about this whole event, and then the next morning they were found dead and horribly mutilated. So apparently he's telling his friend the story roughly the same day as the aunt told him his whole story, and then the cops show up and tell him that his aunt was murdered. So it then cuts to the guy is then is on the phone with his friend and his friend is saying that like the thing is knocking on the door and it's gonna get him, and he's like kind of shrugging it off, and then the guy pulls the phone to the door, and he can hear the knocking, and then the door breaks open, and he unearthly screams as the guy's killed, and then he hears over the phone a little girl say, "Witness," and then the phone hangs up. Apparently 3 minutes have passed, and he's hearing knocking at his doors, but the creature has to knock on the outside door, the window or the mirror in the hall, and then his door. So he's just kind of waiting for his end. He's not even fighting back or anything like that because he feels it's futile. And he just keeps typing like this little story, and then he's killed off because it like does it's like, oh well, it's nice knowing, oh, and like tons of like keyboard buttons, and then suddenly somebody else posts on saying "witness," and then that's how the story ends. So I liked the monster, very folkloric in terms of, I mean, it's a very maybe not cliche, but like it's a very well used archetype of a monster, like the woman in white kind of creepy spirit monster, almost like a boogeyman. It felt like it could have been pulled from any kind of like folklore or legend from a South American country, or even from like our country, like from an urban legend. The story also to me felt like the writing style of Lovecraft's Dagon, where the writer is writing the story in a locked room as a giant monster claw is trying to bash open the door to get him. And then the story ends with him like writing and then quickly like saying he's going to jump out the window, and then he like finishes it off, and then he's out of there, and like it just trails off. So, Dr. Leviathan, what do you think of the story?
Yeah, it's shite.
Of course.
What of course? I don't think everything's shite.
No, I know. That's just your stance on the whole thing?
Yeah, it was boring and another waste of my time.
Well, at least it was short.
Okay, you say that like it's a redeeming quality.
It is kind of. They're quick reads, so it's not like they're going to be, like, it's not like it's a complete waste. Like, yes, it may be a waste of your time, but I mean, like, it's a quick read, you're done with it, move along.
But it's a waste of time. Regardless of the brevity of that waste, it's still wasted time. In fact, what may have helped both of these stories, might have been length. If they had have been longer, if people hadn't have been lazy pricks, a little more may have helped both of these.
Maybe. I mean, it's certainly possible. So you would have wanted more, like, just a little bit more explanation or a little bit more depth to it?
I'm not saying what I want. I'm just saying it might have helped. I honestly want to have never read these. I don't get what I want.
Well, next week you can decide what
next week I can slap you. You know what? I'll slap you. But don't worry, I won't slap you for very long, so it'll be okay.
Okay. Yeah, I see what you did there.
You see? You get the point? I'll slap you and make fun of your mother.
Wow.
But I won't do it for long.
Okay, that makes everything okay then.
That's what you're telling me.
Well, I'm just saying, it's like, I mean, I don't know, I enjoyed both the stories.
Eat your Brussels sprouts. There's not many of them.
I like Brussels sprouts.
Why am I not surprised?
Well, it just helps. We definitely do have different opinions on some of these stories we've been talking about, and this just further helps.
I have the right opinion. You have the wrong opinion. We've gone over this.
You have, no, we both have different opinions on it.
Yes,
whether or
right
not
and wrong are different. We've.
Oh my
the fact that I have to explain this to you just bothers the hell out of me.
Oh, okay. So I'm just going to go on a limb and say you're not going to recommend this one at all. For me, from the cultist, I would, just because I like the monster of it. I did find it kind of creepy. Not scary, but creepy. I did also listen to both of these on 2 different channels for readings, as a refresher. Mr. Creepypasta.
Really? Because you couldn't even be bothered to reread
I read
these?
them a couple of times, and then I listened to it for the refresher. You little...
I'm just saying, they're short, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Really? Because I didn't know if you were aware of that yet.
I know, it's so hard. So, Mr. Creepypasta has a great reading of it. It has, like, sound effects, has musical ambiance, has a creepy little girl who says the words witness. He even adds a scream for the from the other side of the phone in the background. So, give it a listen if you feel
unlike
inclined.
the person who wrote it, he put some effort into it.
Lightfeather YouTube channel did a good reading of Herobrine. Though listeners may notice a familiar royalty-free music used for the background of that one. And I suppose that's it for this week's episodes. It was going to be a short one because they are short stories, and yeah. Nothing else you'd like to add on?
Well, just the fact that, you know, I'd like to kind of point out that, what's his arse here? He knew the whole story and that it was true, theoretically, before he was telling anyone about it.
So he just outright doomed anybody who read the story?
No, he doomed his own ass.
That's true.
Yeah, because you don't just have to know about her, you have to tell someone about her. So why didn't he just not say anything? I think it mentioned that he realized it like after he had told the story about his friend's whole thing, and then he's like, "Oh wait, I forgot this. It can only kill you if you know about it and if you've told somebody." I'm pretty sure that's like near the end of it. No. Oh well, it does say those exact words, but
yeah. So he that's. It's a little far. It is a stretch, but I think like that's where they were going with like, oh, I forgot that this thing actually killed it. Well, fuck, I'm screwed even further.
Yeah, but I'm also under the impression that it was coming after him before he started all of this.
Yeah, he was in his room and then he heard the knocks.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. About 3 minutes or so before he started writing. Mm-hmm.
But he didn't tell us till he's...
Yeah, I know. No, that is a very dick move.
No.
For himself, too.
But do you hear what I'm saying? He didn't tell anyone. Why was it knocking at his door?
Oh.
Shit, yeah, so...
Yeah. That is a good point. I don't know. I still like it, so... I mean, I can agree that it is not the best story, but I mean, I still like the idea of it.
No, again, you like the idea of the creature. You don't like the idea of the story. Because there is no story. This one has more behind it than Herobrine.
Yeah.
But still, that doesn't make it good.
No, fair enough. I don't know, it sounds... I mean, the writing style and even the length for the most part, although, actually, I think Dagon was a little bit longer, it feels very much like the Dagon story from Lovecraft. So, just in terms of, like, how, like, what the scenario is and how it was written and stuff like that. So,
yes,
mind you, that one didn't have, like, oh, Dagon's after me because I'm writing this down. So, okay, so... I suppose that's it for this week's episode. Well, if you disagree or agree with us, you can leave a comment in the comment section below. We are on YouTube and iTunes now, so leave us a comment in YouTube's comment section, or send us a review on iTunes. Every little bit helps. We're on Twitter too, at Review Cultist, and you can also send us an email at eldenterigamortis@gmail.com. That's ALDENTERIGAMORTIS@gmail.com, where you can also send us suggestions for, as Leviathan probably would say, good creepypastas. And until next time, I have been your host, Review Cultist.
Fuck you.
And this has been El Dente Rigamortis. Sleep well.